Good evening, my dark and lovely souls. My name is Lenny Graves, and I'm a tarot card reader, a astrologer, a psychic medium, a magician, and a demonologist. And tonight, I thought I would help you guys with a little bit of magic. Much like incense helps center the mind or clear the air when you start to do a tarot card reading or even cast a spell, witches and warlocks and sorcerers and stuff need spell components, and a piece of American witchcraft, which I like because I'm American. My grandmother was from the Appalachians, is rusty nails. And what you can do, or screws, I think screws work just as well, is what you want to do is when you're out and about and you come across a nail, particularly one that's rusty, or in your yard, or in a graveyard is ideal, or a lot of different places, collect it, pick it up, take it with you. And then when you get home, stick it in a jar. And you can do a couple things with this jar. You can do the traditional method is you take the jar when it gets somewhat full, you have a few nails in there, and you bury it somewhere in your yard or in your front yard or whatever. And what this will do is this is going to absorb negative energies. It's going to ward your house. It's also going to protect you from the Fae, because the Fae don't really care for iron as a rule, so that'll help with that, right? And that's basically all there is to it. It's a simple spell. There's no such thing, in my opinion, as a proper spell book to invoke a spell. Usually when you're burying something, I would invoke something, but there's a lot of different source material you could use. If you're from an African tradition, you could use like more voodoo versus if you were like from a northern pagan tradition, which would invoke Odin or whatever, or a traditional American witchcraft tradition, which is kind of just a hodgepodge of a bunch of different stuff. But anyway, however you want to do it, you're going to channel that energy and you bury it. Now, that's one way to do it, or you can do what I do. Is my house is warded another way. So when I find a rusty nail and stuff like that, that's what I do. I take them and put them in a jar, and I usually keep them on my desk somewhere just about, right? And so it's kind of getting my ambient psychic magical energy, whatever, as I'm doing my cards or whatever other spell work I'm doing, right? And then I will take it, and probably a couple times in the month, I'll bathe it in moonlight, leave it out. I have a small altar to Frey and Freya in my backyard, and I'll usually put it on there, and then it absorbs the light. Charges the nails and the screws. Why would I do this? So later on, if I have a client who wants me to hex someone, or I need to hex someone, or I need to cast a spell that has more of a malicious intent, well, you can take one of those nails or screws and just drive it right into that doll, and then you have that intent. That spell work's already set up. And you can use them for other components. You can use them in hexes, curse, less spells, binding, and because the iron and the everything in the universe is energy that's condensed into matter. You, me, you and me, as I just did that backwards because, again, I am off tonight. I apologize. You and me. My Baphomet statue, this jar of nails, it's all condensed energy in different forms of matter. So as that energy is picked up and it's held and it's absorbed and stuff like that, it's re-radiated back, and that's why there are spell components and crystals and stuff like that. And you can go and buy hundreds of dollars of crystals and make yourself look like Superman in that Richard Donner movie where he's got the whole thing of crystals in front of him and stuff like that. And you're going to get a lot of ambient energy. I'm not saying not do that, but you can do it just like my grandmother and other Appalachian witches with a jar of rusty nails, because the magic's still the same. The iron's going to absorb the latent energy. It's going to scare off the fairies if they need to, and also you can take it and you can put your malice and your will into it and use it in spell components and other spells. You can use it like if you want to bind somebody, you can definitely take a piece of paper, do a sigil. We'll do sigil magic later on. Take one of those rusty nails, go out in your garden patch, bind it on something you're growing. You want somebody you can't make anybody love you, but I can make it close. There's a bunch of little spells you can do. And it can start with something simple as a jar of rusty nails. In witchcraft or in hedge magic or sorcery or anything like that, chaos magic, don't take anything for granted. Whatever resonates for you and works for you is your own path to sorcery. And if you believe in it enough, and many books tell you this is a great hidden secret of the occult and indoctrination, if you believe in it enough, expansion your consciousness, your third eye opens and the universe opens to you. I think it's the line in the Bible, you can move a mountain and it'll just move, right? You can do whatever you want to do, but it's a long path, and it starts with simple things like trinket magic and tarot cards and all those kind of lovely things. I hope that meant something to you, my dark and lovely soul. If you'd like to know a little bit more about magic and spirituality, especially how I practice it, let me know. I would really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, follow, do all those things. You can find me here at The Lenny Graves on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me at YouTube and Facebook at Dysfunctional Enlightenment. And I'm doing a giveaway when I get to 500 and 1,000 subscribers, respectively, on all of those channels. I will be giving away written and not in person, but like on stream or like what I'm doing right now, but only you'll be there with me. Not live between you and me, kind of readings, and it's pretty awesome. I think you might dig it. But go get some rusty nails. Use them for good or evil. Be your own masters. You do your own will. Have a good night.